We have one mother that is literally behind bars for doing the absolute most horrendous thing to another human being you could possibly do, another female human being. And you hear how she talks, and then you flip over to Katie Proudfoot, and they speak almost the same way.
He's gone through a lot of phases over the years.
That's a really good.
But do you guys notice something about these photos? And I'm going to keep saying you guys need to notice something about these photos. Because Sebastian's young. All of these photos, and this has been my complaint from the beginning with Katie, because Katie has him 90% of the time. Even though they have joint custody, her and Seth, she's the one that has him there 5 days a week. You would expect her to have an overwhelming amount. I mean, if we were to take our own lives, think of how often, like, I can show you, I have a terabyte. Now, granted, I'm a content creator, okay? So I am going to have a lot of photos and videos. It's my job. But I think the normal people, I can tell you the real me too, when her and I are together, she can pop open her phone and literally show me a gazillion photos of her grandson. Like a gazillion. Like her whole phone is littered with her son, her grandson. Okay? And even when she's not taking the photos of her grandson, he's picking up her phone and taking photos of himself. Okay? So, and he's an autistic boy. We've got a lot of photos here. She's going through these photos and talking about them. The one thing that annoys me the most is she's not breaking down. She's not breaking up. She's not crying. It's not becoming too much for her. She doesn't need a break. Okay? You guys know that every time we deal with a parent that loses her child, you know, even though we have a video that shows this interview went, you know, like this, you guys realize we cut sometimes that when we're doing an interview, they need a moment. They need a break. Okay? It also happened like when we did the interview with Kaylee Gonzalez's family, Christy and Steve and Olivia, with Olivia and me. We had to break several times during that interview to give them a moment to, you know, they had other things going on. They had grandkids, kids, dogs. And then of course the emotion of the interview in and of itself. It was, you know, you gotta give them a break. This is a live stream. Okay. So if there's a break, then you'll know that they need a break. And so far throughout this whole thing, no breaks have been needed. She seems very cavalier and very, jovial and happy when discussing all of these things, because when you're truly hurting and mourning the loss of your child, those breaks and, you know, this being too much, that comes naturally. It's not thought about. It's not forced. You just know, you can tell, you know, the body just functions the way that it functions. Here, it's not functioning like that. She's not having these overwhelming emotions erupting inside of her. And that's a problem for me, because it's telling me something very, very bad about her as a mother and a human being, okay? Not to have feeling of such emotion and to be so detached from that emotion, it's not right. It's just not right, okay? I can't express it other than that. It's just not right, and it's not normal, because even the hate channels, if they were in this, no matter what they say and how they support this, I guarantee if something happened to Queen Bee's daughter, you would hear it in her voice, okay? She wouldn't be putting pictures up of her child that's missing and not be breaking down. Okay? Like, out of all the horrible things that I think of Queen Bee, one thing I really don't think that she would do is not feel pain for her child that's missing, unless she was the reason why her child was missing, which I don't believe she would be. Okay? In all reality, I guess only time will tell. Don't make me hate saying this, Queen Bee. I'm just saying, don't make me hate saying this. But I don't think we're going to be, you know, having Queen Bee on this show because one of her children are missing, okay? She does a lot of stupid shit, but at the end of the day, I honestly believe if something happened to Queen Bee's children, she would be showing a lot more emotion than Katie Proudfoot, okay? And that's on the real. And even those other hated channels, I also believe the same thing. A lot of these people, like No Nonsense, she would be acting a lot different if it was her child. And along with Duchess. And for them to go ahead and support this and know that this is a direct conflict with the way they would act if they were in a situation like this is where I have a problem. It's where I personally have a problem. She does sound upset later on, Deanna says. But you're right, in my opinion. She should be. But is it forced? Because this stuff comes natural. When she's talking about this, it should be hard for her to talk about it. It's not hard for her to talk about. It's very easy for her to talk about. Like I said, it's almost like she's talking about her grandfather, her wonderful grandfather that, was laid to rest. But what a great man he was. Here, let me show you how. Look at all these wonderful times. These were such great times, right? That's what it sounds like to me. And I don't like that implication.
He was, for a little while there, he was really into baseball. We would
See, it would be something like this, seeing a cute little, something that if this person was missing out of my family, I'd be breaking down and crying. I don't know if I could hold this. This is a cute picture. This is a cute picture of a missing boy. I guarantee if his father's watching this channel, this right here is making his father's heart hurt. Okay? I'm sure that he's sitting there drinking his coffee and breathing pretty heavy. Something like, probably something like that, And here he has to listen to, if he's here, which, I'm pretty sure he bounces around. And if he's not listening right now, he'll be listening later today. And he's listening to how happy and jovial and joyous Katie's voice sounds. Because in my opinion, I feel like it's Duper's delight. I feel like all of this has been Duper's delight. She's hidden until she thinks she's safe. Now she's back. Now she thinks she's conned everybody. She hasn't conned the true crime community. She hasn't conned the true crime community. She's conned some idiots that have no education. Okay, that's who she's conned. But the people that actually have common sense, which you don't need to be book smart to be smart, right? People that actually have common sense knows that this is bullshit.
would get tickets to go see the Padres play fairly regularly. And we would go, and he got so into it that he became a hardcore Padres fan for a little while. And so we got him a glove. And
I am so sorry to hear that, Deanna. But then I mean, this has got to be pretty hard for somebody like you to know the grief that you go through daily, weekly, monthly, annually, and to hear this. Now, you're saying this is your grandson. So you have a daughter. Does your daughter act like this? Because that's my question. And I'm asking legitimately, not to call your daughter anything. I'd like to know, because again, a lot of us haven't dealt with this, right? We think we would act this way if we dealt with it. But when I have an opportunity to hear from somebody that has, I'm going to ask them the question, because that's how we learn. That's how we learn of different types, different personality types as well. There are people that grieve, and they even grieve differently. We watch people grieve differently, okay? I mean, look at how Riley Strain's mother grieved. And look at how Layla Santanella's mother grieved. They grieve differently, but they still grieve. Riley's mom can't even say his name without her bottom chin just quivering and tears pouring out of her eyes. Whereas, Jennifer Santanello, you can hear the somberness. She has, a little more control on the waterworks, but not by much. Her bottom chin isn't quivering, but you can definitely hear the voice quivering as she talks at certain things. She's been talking a lot, so now she's becoming a little more comfortable with the control of her voice, as opposed to, say, somebody like Riley Strain's mother or Katie Proudfoot. Like, Katie Proudfoot hasn't been talking enough to be able to handle talking about their child on a daily basis, like Layla Santanella's mom has done. But you got two parents here that are grieving. You see that Jen's grieving, and you see that Riley's mom's grieving, but they are grieving differently. You know, they are grieving differently. Riley Strain's mother is a little more inconsolable and incontrollable, right? But you can still see the grief on both the mamas. And that's what we're talking about. Hey, Casey, it's nice to see you. My daughter passed away 8 years ago, and I'm still shattered and broken over her death. It's just hard for me to believe that somebody... No, my daughter's ex-husband, I think, was responsible for and was real accident. Ooh. So you kind of got it from both sides, too. So you guys know. This is just not right. Was the step-husband, ex-husband, was he cavalier? I ended up in a mental hospital over a month, I'm sure. My daughter says she couldn't grieve because I was grieving. I'm pretty sure most of us who have followed Sebastian from the beginning, and even those who started later, still have heavier hearts seeing him. Yes, than she does. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I think that's kind of the way we're all kind of feeling. Yes, ma'am. That's it.
We used to, out in the backyard, we'd throw the ball, and he was actually pretty good swinging with the bat. He was pretty good at it. And a lot of fun going out there. He got to meet the entire team more than once.
It's nice to see
you.
Oh,
that's really cool. Mm-hmm. Tell me about this picture. I've got to know.
So on our vertical mode, Cardina says, if one of my two went missing, I wouldn't have the strength to hold my composure to speak to anyone without falling to pieces, falling apart. And yeah, that's kind of where we're at with all of this. And he would make statements like he wished he had a normal son. Oh yeah, that kind of sounds like the way Chris treated Sebastian or talked about Sebastian at the beginning. Hey, Devil's Queen, it's nice to see you. She says, I lost my infant son. I was shocked at first, and then it hit when I lost my son. Urn pendant. I was hysterical. I dropped on the floor sobbing. Yeah, I mean, you've got a lot of people, and that's what people don't understand, is that when we come here and we're in the true crime genre, we have people that come here that have experienced what we're talking about. They've experienced some of the cases that we've talked about. They've lived this. And I think, from the normal perspective, from the common sense perspective, when we see parents acting like Chris and Katie, it doesn't sit right. I mean, they act almost as atrocious as Don Wells did and Candace Bly. They're just not, it's awful. And their behavior doesn't bode with the situation, the severity of the situation we're dealing with here. Like, this child has been gone, in 2 more months, freaking 2 solid years. His mother should be blessed hysterical at this point. Not laughing and giggling.
Fair.
When I saw it, I was like, hold on, what do we have going on here?
So
with this corn.
We have a tradition where every year we go to the state fair because all of us love the grilled corn. It's just not the same anywhere else, even at home. And so every year we go to the state fair and we get our grilled corn. And the two of them were sword fighting with their corn.
See, that was where I was going.
And they did that all these years, but they don't have any recent photo of this. If they do it every year, this is a photo from when this child looks like he was 9 years old. I mean, he doesn't even barely come up to Chris's shoulders.
I was like, what is happening here? I was like, is this?
They were standing there in the middle of the walkway.
Sword fighting.
With the corns.
Kids will be kids. Well,
how do you laugh about stuff like that? Like, I would think she'd be crying. I want those memories back. Hey, Summer's Army, it's nice to see you. I want those memories back. I want those memories back. I know. I think I think that's what the problem is with all of us. And this is what I'm talking about, the POS Duchess is, and nonsense for that matter. Just they don't question anything. They just let them spill whatever lies they want to spill with no accountability. Why? Because Duchess really doesn't care for the truth. She cares for the attention. She cares to be rubbing elbows with the biggest pieces of crap, and she's the go-to, the beginning go-to of the hate channels for protection.
Don't they?
The big one and the little one in that picture.
Right. Exactly. Exactly.
We
Now
got him that the unlimited ride bracelet, and he was more interested in getting his corn than he was riding the rides.
Oh my goodness. Well, that must be some good corn then, for sure. Now this looks like a scary picture right here, and Sebastian has got his lip out. Tell me more about this one.
That's the same night as the other picture. That's we were waiting in line to get in, and they had different characters running around and scaring people. And he scared Sebastian because he was so determined that he wasn't going to be scared. And we were standing there talking, and we saw him coming up, and he tapped Sebastian. And Sebastian turned around and jumped.
I'm sorry, Dan.
I'm sure.
I was like, I gotta get a picture of this. And he stuck his lip out. He's pouting.
Oh my goodness.
Guys, we have several people that have lost loved ones in our chat right now. Several. Okay? We've got several people that have lost children or grandchildren in our chat, and they're crying right now because of thinking of their lost loved one, and listening to this mother being so cavalier, and it's just, she's really odd. I think I think that really is the sentiments here. I'd be sounding like the first day. I could have never. And you know what? And the bad part is, Sandy, is that, this is the way they've acted since day one. Nothing has really changed in their behavior. They know their behavior is frowned upon from everybody, and they think that this is normal. Okay? Normal parents don't come on here and joke and laugh when they have a missing child, like their child's, this is just, just another day. That's just not normal. It's just not normal having a mom so happy and joyous that she doesn't get to see her child for 2 years. She seems pretty freaking happy with all her memories. Just not him.
I would have been, I don't know, beside myself. Tell me about this picture right here with the Grinch.
So that is a event that they do here.
Oh, hey, Emblem.
It's a charity event where they bring in all these buses and they decorate them, and you get to go through and look at the buses and the decorations, and it's a charity event for the children locally, and we go every year and we support. And Sebastian saw this Grinch and he loved it.
It just seems like everything's from the same year. He seems like he's the same height, wearing the same clothes. It seems like several photos.
He's like, I want to get a picture with him. I've got probably 100 pictures from that night because he was just posing with everybody.
Doesn't seem like she has any updated photos that we could look at.
I love
This is
that
all
so
about his
much.
childhood.
And this must be a
good old
Halloween
days.
costume. Or
Back in the good old days. Back in the good old days. This doesn't even look like their current house. Flooring doesn't look right. So this is even prior to the Hendersonville home.
or was this just a regular dress up?
The
March.
Transformer. No, that was Halloween. Oh no, sorry.
Hey,
the
Honey Dip.
Naruto. That was Halloween as well. He as soon as he puts on his costume, he gets into character.
I have no doubt. I have no doubt about that.
I got a bunch of pictures because he was just sitting there doing all his.
This sounds like a conversation a normal parent would have with another parent. As you guys are talking about some of the stuff that you have, like, you would never, if you walked in on this conversation, you would never know that how severe this situation is. You would never know that there is a child missing from this home.